Hey everybody, what's up? We're back. It's those wrestling girls. It's your girl Krista B
and Queen PR.
And today we have somewhat of a fun episode that P kind of came up with, and I kind of just liked it. But before we start, P, your line.
I am so excited. I am excited. You know why? Because I need an outlet for this topic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. So today we're talking about some of the worst or craziest storylines that the women have ever been in WWE. Yeah. And we're doing something different. Like, I'm going to do 5, P's going to do 5. We're going to just counter. Hopefully we don't have the same ones because we didn't go over which ones we just picked.
This is going to be fun.
So do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. My first one.
Oh, wait. First, let me just do a little of why we want to do this episode particularly.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
There's always an issue with the storylines with the women.
Yes, always.
There's always a lack of creativity.
Since dinosaur times.
There's no effort, it seems like, so everyone complains about the storylines. And then recently we have the Lana
and Bobby Lashley. Oh my God.
That whole thing started as we're recording this episode.
Right.
So we're like, okay. And you've expressed how much you've hated the whole relationship, threesome type of storylines anyway.
Right.
And we're like, why you always got to do that? So now we're going to talk about all the bizarre, weird, sexist storylines that have taken place.
Okay. So you want me to start first?
Yes.
So my first one, and I had picked 5, but now I'm rearranging.
Okay.
And I hope you didn't pick this one.
Okay.
So my first one was with the late great Chyna.
Uh-huh.
And it was the match between her and Jeff Jarrett. And how that whole storyline about throwing everything but the kitchen sink and the women should be in the kitchen and all of that. And then she finally, after months and months of him treating Deborah like shit, like a piece of whatever item and disposable, and then him getting, I believe this is when Miss Kitty came along too, to help Deborah, whatever the case was like that. And Chyna was just yo, that's enough is enough. She's a woman. She's not a piece of trash or a piece of garbage. And Chyna came out, and then Jeff Jarrett kind of interrupted her and you belong in the kitchen.
Yep.
You belong kitchen cleaning, barefoot and pregnant. That part.
I cannot believe
barefoot
that.
and pregnant. What the fuck?
I forgot that storyline started from that whole argument that she should be in the kitchen.
So that's when they had that everything but the kitchen sink match, or including the kitchen sink match or whatever. And that's when Chyna became the first ever women's intercontinental championship.
That was
champion.
Dope.
Sorry,
that was dope. I'm glad that sexist angle at least had a good ending, a female.
Yeah, but it should have never. Yeah. And being that it happened in Attitude Era when we were not understanding.
No, we didn't know what we were watching. We just knew we was rooting for Chyna. That's all.
And then going back to watch it again, and I'm just oh no, Vince is fucking. he's the epitome of an egotistical misogynist.
Really
what is going on?
And it's the fact that you even thought that was an okay storyline to go with is is crazy to me because she's already strong as hell, so it's believable she could beat Jeff Jarrett already. Why you had to add the whole she should be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant? What?
Are you dumb?
Yeah, that's you always bring it back. I legit forgot not forgot, but remembering back that all started with that. Yeah. Okay, that's a good one.
Oh, okay, good. She didn't have it. One for me.
No, I didn't have that one. I'm actually going from our Twitter responses.
Okay.
And so someone said, and shout out to whoever is at Annie74656 because they went ham. They was oh, where you want me to start? And they listed 5, but she noted or he, I don't know, because Twitter's weird.
The person.
Yes, the person talked about Halloween witch hat Stephanie McMahon being assaulted by Eric Bischoff. That whole thing was weird. Her and Eric Bischoff's dynamic during those storyline was weird. And what's weird was that Vince was writing all of it.
But no, Vince wasn't writing it. Vince was approving it.
No, I listened to Eric Bischoff's podcast and he was oh, that was Vince's idea.
Ew.
And you know that when Stephanie McMahon is making out with Eric Bischoff with the Vince mask, that was Vince's idea.
Ew.
Right?
But she had to agree to it. Like, father or not, like, you need help.
Right?
That's gross. Ew.
But we noticed, too, a lot of people sexualized Stephanie. Because remember we did, on her birthday, we were like, post your favorite
Stephanie. And somebody put a lot of sex. You guys are like, are y'all like little horny horn dogs that don't get any? Like, my gosh. Like, we know she's very pretty. We know she's voluptuous. We know she has assets. Like, we all have them.
All of the
But the way y'all sexualized her.
The way, the gifts of her bent over. And I'm just looking down the timeline, like, and people were like, oh my God. And people knew, I guess, that there was creeps because they were like, some girl commented like, I'm scared to scroll down because I know that it's going to be
a lot of creeps.
Going to be a lot of We did the same thing with Paige. And people posted, like, someone even asked, can I post non-PG stuff? I'm like,
I mean, at the end of the day, full disclaimer, at the end of the day, it's your Twitter account. You can post whatever you want. Right. But if you know what me and P stand for when it comes down to the women's evolution and when it comes down to our podcast and why we started this, then you will respect us in a way of posting something that's tasteful. Because you posting things like that is not only offensive to those people who are actually witnessing it or going through it, it's also offensive to us.
Very much.
And
so.
You have to think about, if some of you guys have daughters, sisters, mothers, grandmas, cousins, aunts, you know, what if that was them and they were being sexualized in that manner? You would really feel, now you'll feel creeped up. And we're not saying that, you know, we all have to be covered up and, you know, and whatever.
We know that they're beautiful women. Like, we love that they're beautiful and strong. But when it comes to posting on our
we just ask you to respect that.
It's just be respectful and be tasteful. And if we ask you to post a gif of a woman, we want it to be PG.
It shouldn't be of her boobs and her ass or whatever. Because, you know, we have those too. We know what they look like.
Exactly. Okay, what's your other one?
Okay, this is fun. I'm glad you thought of this, Pete, because I was
like, we gotta talk about Lana.
Yeah, we have to talk about Lana. And you know me, like, once I'm so used to going back off of what's going on currently, so I'm just like, wait, I don't have no ideas. Like, what is going on? Yo, P's a mastermind, like, you know. Okay, so my first one was Chyna and Jeff Jarrett. My second one, I believe that my second one, which was a bad one, would have to be Vince McMahon, Trish Stratus, and Linda's storyline. Was that yours?
Yeah, that was my second one.
Gosh. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so well, I guess since that was both our second ones, we can definitely just talk about that, because that right there.
But that was a major storyline for like a WrestleMania.
It was.
Like it was like they put a lot of months into that storyline, and it was just, looking back on it, it makes me uncomfortable. Like, him making her bark in the ring.
Even then was uncomfortable. But then when Linda kind of went into that state of shock or whatever she was in, and they were like making out in front of her, and they are in her house and all of that craziness, it's just like, how many zeros was at the end of that check for Trish?
Right.
Like, I know when you're in that business, and if you're not on TV, you really don't get paid. You know, you don't get those endorsements and those sponsorships. But it's like, where are your morals at? And I know it's for entertainment. I know she was probably back there like, Vince, we really have to. Like, Linda, you really okay with this? Are we really going to sit here and do this? I mean, I don't think I would have been able to do that.
No, me neither. And it was the weirdest thing too about it was that, I guess it's good that we got the payoff in the end. Like, Linda ended up
coming back
and getting her revenge, I guess. So yeah, and I guess that was okay too. But I don't, like you said, like, how did Trish feel about, like, knowing that Vince McMahon made her bark like a dog in the middle of the ring? Like, and they edit that. Her ass. They edit that so heavy.
And about to kiss his ass. Yep. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And good thing The Rock, my Samoan man.
Oh, he saved
her.
He did.
Saved her.
That was good. Okay, so I have another one.
I hope you don't have one I'm about to think of.
All right, you go.
No, because I already went. We already had the same one, so you go.
Okay. I want to talk about TN. Do you remember TNA? That was like the whole thing, or whatever. And Trish comes in as a valet. I don't think they expected her, and this is kind of off topic, I don't think they expected Trish to become a real wrestler. Like, I think they would have always had her stripping. Like, I feel like they would have always just like had her like stripping for no reason. So then
being a distraction.
Yeah. So remember with Chris Jericho and Christian and Trish Stratus, where they had a bet like who can like kiss her first, and then she ended up turning
on Jericho to kiss Christian. Yeah.
That was entertaining.
I don't feel like that wasn't a good storyline.
Like
it was entertaining. I don't think that was a bad.
I think that's a good example of a relationship type angle.
Yeah,
that kind of works.
That's.
What about the live sex celebration?
Oh no, I'm not even touching that. Like
that happened.
I know that happened.
Like I can't believe that happened. Like, imagine right now, they're like, that's why I think I'm in disbelief, because if they were to do a commercial right now, like, live sex celebration on SmackDown, like, how did they, what?
That was ruthless, I think it was part of ruthless aggression.
Oh, my God. Lita, oh, Jesus. The last years of her career is so hard to watch.
It is.
Like, oh, God. Especially when she just becomes Edge's girlfriend, like.
You try to be... No pun intended, but real edgy and like.
Yeah, I was just like, no. And then she was married to Kane. Then that whole situation.
That whole thing. Damn, that was like one of mine. Thanks.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Like, Lita.
Right. So another one of mine. I'm coming out of Attitude Era now.
Okay.
I'm going into Dawn Marie, Tori Wilson, and her dad.
Oh my God.
R.I.P. Al, because he just passed away 2 days before Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But I feel like, okay.
How did she get to her dad to agree to do that?
The check.
He probably was excited.
The check.
Because it's like, you're on TV.
The check.
Yeah.
Shit.
And then he's like making out with girls and shit. I'm sure he didn't mind.
Of course. Like. Now, I get, everybody needs love, and no matter in one way or another. But no, like that was just like creepy. Watching it now. I'm just like
creepy as hell.
It's like watching. Well, none of my grandparents are alive, but if they were, it'd be like watching my grandpa having sex with a friend of mine, like
so
gross,
so strange. And they put a lot of TV time
they
into
did
that storyline,
and then
too.
They get married, and then they go on this honeymoon, and the next episode Al is dead because he overexerted himself.
Yes,
like bro, what? And then at the funeral, you still fighting?
So dumb. So dumb. Okay. I was waiting to bring this up because I think it's so funny. I guess it's not. Only because now it was funny at the time, Natty farting. But because I didn't understand her legacy. Like, I didn't understand that she's Natalya Neidhart. Like, and y'all have her in this storyline.
I was really confused as to why they kept having her fart. Like
that was like she couldn't control. She had uncontrollable flagellants.
But why was
it's just so dumb?
Like the way you crack up. But why would they even put that as a storyline?
When I found I'm like, why? Who came up with this? Is during that Divas era though, where it was just like so bad. And then they had her like she'd be like in the middle of like a room or something,
and she'll fart.
And then she'll fart. And everybody would be like, and then she'll act like she'll know what happened. Oh, I should not. Think
you
funny.
Really like,
but it's because it's just you really had Natty doing that.
This is why I feel the way I feel about her.
I mean, that didn't help her.
It did not,
like at all, because that's how I was introduced to Natty before I started watching Total Divas, and I would like kind of watch wrestling a little bit. I'm like, oh, she's the girl that fart. And then when she had that brown hair, Jesus, and I was like, oh God, that's the girl that used to be farting all the time, not knowing that she's
legacy, and they're not treating her like legacy.
No, well now I feel like they're trying to, but back then,
definitely not.
She was like a B+ player. Well, they treated her like a B+.
More like C+.
Yeah.
Okay. My next one. Damn, so fucking many.
Right.
Damn, WWE got to do better.
I know. Well, we could do some recent ones. The one that you hated recently with Naomi.
Oh yeah, I was getting to that. Naomi and Mandy Rose and her husband, and Naomi's husband. Is it Jimmy or is it Jay?
We go through that every
one
time,
of the Usos,
and then we figure it out, and then we're like, wait, what?
It's Jay. It's Jay. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel strongly about this storyline, particularly because of how much you love Naomi and because we watch her relationship play out on Total Divas. So you're extra like, don't mess with that marriage. Like, that, or you just don't like those storylines in general?
I don't like those storylines in general, but that is because, one, I relate to them. I've been in a relationship almost 10 years now. So it's just like,
bitch.
Right. So that I relate to. Two is just like to have a positive couple of color on TV and they're doing what they got to do. Yeah. Why would you want to sit here and fuck that up to have a white blonde come and be a homewrecker? And even as the white woman, as the white blonde or whatever, and you're in the part of this evolution, you shouldn't even be, that shouldn't even be on your mind.
And I'm so glad that you brought the word evolution into this, because I feel like the women's evolution is going up, but like the storylines is like the storylines aren't evolving. Besides, like, it's always, except for whatever Charlotte's doing, those are the only storylines that they,
or Becky now
Becky, okay, that's the only storylines they put legit effort into. Everything else is just like, oh, like, and I get, okay, let's bring up the Mandy Rose character. That's a good one, because they always make it like, you don't look like me.
So that whole, when we was at SmackDown and she called Nikki Cross ugly,
I can't believe she actually used the word ugly. Let's get into these. Let's get into the body image, the storylines. And I just think that is so, I don't know.
Childish?
Like that's the storyline we're going with, guys. Mandy's like I said hot before, blonde and everybody's ugly.
Like I said before, there aren't women writing for women. This we know for a fact. There are not women writing for women. Yeah. I feel like they're not even trying to give women a chance to write for women.
No, because all of these storylines are very male gaze type vibe.
So I just feel like they need to give women a chance in the background. Like, we should hashtag that. Give women a chance behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's obvious that you don't never have. I mean, you do, but it's a comedy angle. Like I'm like, you don't. I was gonna say you never have the guys argue about something vain like that, but there's been like the Edge and Booker T hair commercial, but it's always in a comedic way.
Right.
The women, why are we giving comedic storylines if they're supposed to be looked at as real athletes, real super, like, why are we still getting these, like, again, besides the main women storylines, that's it. Like, that's the only storylines that get effort. And then Naomi didn't even end up
never beating her,
finalizing that
feud. Like,
so it was just like, okay, so why do we do that? And now Mandy Rose is the hot one, everybody's ugly. So now,
and Sonya Deville's her pit bull, her bulldog. Like,
yeah, I don't know. It just seems really like, I don't know, whack to me.
Right. I have one.
Oh, what's up?
I don't know how this plays out. As, I mean, a woman was involved in a sense, but I don't know if this kind of going off. So I don't know if you remember when Triple H was kind of trying to bait Kane. And he had brought up the girl Katie Vick.
Oh God! Wait, is that that was
the dead girl?
Oh my God! I forgot about that.
Oh my God!
That's
okay. Backstory. So this is Attitude Era. You got to remember what era we in. And Triple H was trying to bait Kane. I think Undertaker was out and injured, or he was drafted to SmackDown. This is around that time. And one day Triple H goes, "Hey Kane, who's Katie? Who's Katie Vick? Because I looked up her parents and they said that you killed her." So, you know, Kane plays it off like, oh my God, I can't believe he brought this up. There's somebody from my past, this and the third. Apparently, she died in a car accident with Kane. And then it goes to the funeral home where I don't know if they're supposed to have dug up her body, or it was like, of course, it was always a fake body. But, you know, and Triple H dresses up as Kane and literally becomes a necrophiliac. And I'm just literally looking back on that, I'm just like, what the fuck
happened?
I'm like, you're literally portraying that you're having sex with a dead body.
Yeah, that's
happened. Sadistic.
That definitely happened. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a pure example of bizarre
women.
Like, what?
How does that even work?
I feel like this whole episode, I'm just confused.
Girl, headache on 100 right now.
You know what? Also, I think we've gotten so conditioned with this storyline that we don't realize like how creepy it is now thinking back. Triple H marrying Stephanie storyline, like he got her drunk,
right? That's rape.
took advantage of her.
That's
and, like,
rape.
Married her against her will.
That's rape.
That's they could never put that storyline on TV today.
We're promoting rape culture.
Yep.
We're promoting necrophilia.
Yep.
We are promoting sexism.
Yeah.
Massage. Yo, we're some fucked up individuals.
Yeah.
Those grew up in the Attitude Era. We need a check.
Jesus.
We need a check. Like, this is some shit.
That legit happened. And that's a storyline like I vividly remember watching as a kid too. Like them in the drive-thru and her being like, okay. Like her him talking for her.
Him talking like her leaning like, yes,
you know, if they did that today, it would be like cancel WWE, cancel culture, promoting rape culture, all that kind of stuff. All the bra and let's think of all the shit that they've had
bra and panty matches. You know what else I'm gonna bring up?
What?
And I hope this is not on your list. Even I feel like we've been through my list more than yours. Hot lesbian action, HLA.
Oh yeah.
That was there?
Yeah,
okay, go.
Well, see, it was a tweet suggestion that at King of Spades tweeted, and he said 3-minute warning versus hot lesbian action. And 3-minute warning were the two guys that Eric Bischoff,
Rosie and Jamal.
Yeah, and they would come in and fuck people up.
R.I.P. to them both.
Yes,
both. Yeah, Rosie passed away a year ago, 2 years ago. Remember, that's Roman Reigns' brother. Ooh. And Jamal went on to be Umaga.
And he
passed. And they're all related. So R.I.P. to them both.
Rest in peace. But yeah, they were 3-minute warning. And then I don't remember exactly what hot lesbian action.
Hot lesbian action was a thing that started with Eric Bischoff, where he just wanted these hot girls to just be all up on each other. So I think it started off with a match, and I know Stephanie was involved. Had to do some hot lesbian. He had to kiss a person of his choice or her choice or whatever. And I remember, and I'm probably mixing up the two scenes, but I remember the big woman coming out or whatever. Eric was just like, oh no, this is not who you're gonna be making out with. And then he played. And then it was like this really, really big woman. So Stephanie was like looking disgusted at first. And then she's all into it. And it was like, wait, why is she so into it? Come to find out it was Rikishi dressed up as the woman.
Oh my God.
Because I believe Eric Bischoff did something to Rikishi and had him injured or whatever. So he was coming back to get his revenge. So that's where I guess hot lesbian action came from. And I swear now, every time I'm driving and I see somebody's license plate that has HLA on it, I think of hot lesbian action.
And again, this is all stuff we're watching.
Right, like young kids. You know, no, I stopped watching around this. No, I didn't. I don't know if I stopped watching around this time, but I really don't remember much from this time. So I'm rewatching it. But even back then, I was like 12. Like, what was my 12-year-old self thinking?
What was happening? Even like just saying some of the things out loud, because like the Stephanie and Triple H, I got so used to that. Like, I saw nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Like, even until I rethought about it, and I was like, wait,
that's rape culture.
He like really did.
He drugged her. Really no, he didn't drug her. She was drunk.
Yeah.
He didn't drug her. Let me scratch that. He
and
didn't drug her, guys. He didn't drug her.
And you know the other storylines, how we said there was like a good ending, like Linda ended up winning, Chyna ended up winning. Stephanie McMahon still stayed married. Like, there was no, like, she was in on it, right? Like, she turned on her father and was just
but she wasn't in on the marriage, though. She wasn't in on how they got married. I guess it just kind of grew and blossomed. That's crazy. But they did it so well back then. The writing was so well back then. You really don't pay attention to what's going on.
That's totally
true. I think my last one would have to be.
After that, we'll go into the Lana.
Yeah, Lana would cap off everything before we wrap up. But I think my last one would have to be... And I have so many. Like, maybe I should put the rest of them on my Patreon.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about Patreon after. But I think my last one would have to be, and this caps off Attitude Era for me, the Mae Young storyline with Mark Henry.
Oh, God.
And the hand.
Oh, my God.
It's just like...
Oh, my God. Where do you even start with that? Do you start with the fact that he's supposedly sleeping with this 90-something-year-old
Well, she wasn't 90 at that time. She was like 70, 80-ish or whatever. And he got her pregnant and they gave birth to a hand. And I feel the most memorable thing about that scene,
the goo. Because that's when I was like, ew.
No. For me, was Gerald Briscoe throwing up.
Oh, yes.
That was the goo.
God.
Ew, P. I see why he...
I can't even watch it. And I listened to podcasts where, like, Vince thought that was the funniest thing ever. Like, they say, like, he would tell and couldn't get it out because he would be laughing so hard. And Mark Henry was like, so wait, why a hand, Vince? And he's just like, it's a hand.
Like, it's a hand.
And I'm like,
no, we don't get it.
Okay. And that will always... I'm glad Mark Henry added more to his repertoire later on in his career because that's what he was known for a long ass time. For me, at least. That's what I remember. It was like, oh,
Sexual Chocolate had a baby. Young. But what I do remember, though, like, I believe this was after Mae Young died and they had, like, some type of celebration. Mark Henry was there. And then they had this guy dressed up in a hand costume, like, as if it was their baby, like, grown up.
Oh, my God. I think that was Raw 25, low key.
No, I don't think it was Raw 25.
Okay. I thought they did, like, a reunion thing, and then they were like, oh, my God, it's... you got somebody for you
it was
to
in
see?
the back, like, he was, like, in the background. Like, he didn't have lines, whatever. It was just like, oh, the hand. Maybe it was Raw 25.
I don't know, but how dumb is that?
It's dumb, but it was also, like,
it was fun.
a remembrance to Mae Young, too. So
it was fun, especially for Attitude Era people, because, you know, the youngest don't know what the fuck is going on.
Like, why is the hand there?
But that was fun to see for us. Because, I mean, it happened. We might as well, like,
make fun of it.
And Mae Young was living her best life in those years. She was living her best life in those years. She
taking power bombs through tables off the...
She was in it. And everyone that tells stories about working with her in those years say, like, she repeatedly told them, do not take it easy on me. Treat me how you would treat everybody else. Okay, so before we run out of time, what was your reaction? So, okay, I'm watching it with my sister, right? Now, everybody knows, hey, Letty, she's an honorary wrestling girl, but yeah, you know I love Lana, right? Been a Lana fan, whatever. So when her music, I recognized her music instantly and started screaming.
I already knew Lana was coming out.
I was just mad that Bobby Lashley came out. I'm like, I don't care about him.
When he pointed and nothing happened,
that still did not.
I was like, oh, that's Lana, because there's no way he's gonna bait Rusev to get off.
You know what I was saying, Leo.
No,
like, for some reason Lana was like the last. I don't know why I did not think Lana was gonna come out.
No, I knew it was Lana.
And I hear her music hit, and I start screaming. And Letty's like, "Wait, what?" Because she didn't recognize Lana's music. And then they put Lana on the thing, and then she was like, "Oh shit!" Then they started kissing. I was like,
and the way that they were kissing, though,
the leg went up.
I was. But
I'm still in shock.
Did you see the reactions?
That was the faces, funniest thing. That was the funniest
on Twitter.
Thing.
No, did you see Seth Rollins' face? The picture. Yeah. He was like, "Yo."
Then you had Baron Corbin and Randy Orton,
and corner cracking.
So, how do you think this is gonna play out? Because in the time that we're recording this, it's fresh off of the season premiere of Raw, so we don't know what's gonna happen. But what do you see happening? And we know that they're happily married in real life, but how do you see this storyline playing out? Do you like it? What's your thoughts?
I'm not. I don't know what to say about this.
Same. I'm still shocked. I am happy.
Yeah, you're happy
that
she's
Lana's
back.
I'm happy that she has clearly a prominent storyline, and I'm glad Rusev is back.
But why have her storyline come back like that?
Why, like that's my thing, and it's also very interesting that she was taken off of Total Divas because executives felt like her and Rusev were not likable, which is kind of crazy to me. And Total Divas starts this week, and Lana has now come back in this new role because she was salty about being left out of Total Divas. Like she was on Chasing Glory podcast, like going ham. So it's interesting to me now. Fast forward a year later, Total Divas premiering without her, but yeah, she just made this big ass statement of a storyline.
One door closes, another one
right.
opens.
And now I'm like, now it went from Lana not being on TV to now as OB. I wasn't even talking about The Fiend on Monday because I was so shook about Lana and Bobby Lashley.
Thank God she was not talking about The Fiend.
The leg went up, Krista.
I saw. So, guys, I was working. I work from home sometimes, and I was working. And usually when I'm watching Raw, if I'm working, I'm only paying attention to the females. Like, no shade. Like, I love the men, but it's like, I want to see more female action or whatever. So, Becky and Sasha's second match of the night. Happy. I mean, not Becky and Sasha. Alexa and Sasha. Becky, cool, whatever. Did they thing. Cool. watching. Sasha talks her shit. Yada, yada, yada. Maria Kanellis talks her shit. Yada, yada, yada. Fast forward to the end. So now, I don't know if I'm on the phone and I'm still working or whatever the case may be like that. I get a text from P. Yo! And you know when you text somebody, you kind of hear them. So I'm just like, yeah, girl, I saw.
I'm like,
I ain't seen her. I saw. That's it. I saw. I don't want to hear. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm still, to be honest, and people have been tweeting because they know that we care about women, anything. So people have been tweeting us like, what do you guys think about this? And I'm still, and I have been.
I don't
replying,
got no answers.
I'm still in shock.
Don't ask me. I don't got no answers.
I just need to see how it plays out because I'm still just like like.
I don't know if I'm disgusted.
The leg went up.
Like I saw this morning. One of my followers. First he said, I don't care how much they agreed to this. I can never have nobody kissing my wife. I forgot. His name was Lavelle Porter on Twitter. Oh. Yes. So he wrote that. So then when Bobby Lashley retweeted, tastes like strawberries, Lavelle puts, he goes, see, the fact that he did not put that it tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios bothers me.
Oh, my God.
I was
cracking. That's where he has the issue.
Right. That too. That's what he has. Like, I was cracking. But then hilarious. Lana reposts the picture and puts the kiss emojis like, yo.
I'm shook.
Rusev better grow back that fucking beard and go ham.
Yeah.
You an American now, bruh. They can't deport you.
Oh my
Go
God.
ham.
Oh my goodness. I'm in shock. I'm legit in shock. But we're gonna recap. Actually, Krista, you're recapping this week.
I am recapping
on our Patreon.
Yes, you have to follow our Patreon.
Patreon.com/ Those Wrestling Girls.
Yeah, she set it up. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yes, I will. P did an amazing recap. The intro, everything super dope. So now it's my turn to recap, and we already know. Sometimes I can have no filter.
Mm-hmm. So maybe you have a lot to recap. You're gonna be talking. You're gonna be recapping Premiere Week, AEW, Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Yeah,
this kind of makes me sad.
Yeah, why?
Because I have a lot to recap.
It's a lot of wrestling. It's a lot of wrestling.
I'm happy, but it's kind of sad because I have a lot.
Yes.
On top of a busy work week. But hey, this is why we do it. This is what we're here for. This is why we love it.
And yes, so and when you support our Patreon, there's different levels for different stuff, but $2 a month gets you the recap show. Mm-hmm. I did a Total Divas recap today, which is really cool. And we do monthly pay-per-view recaps too. So
together we're gonna do Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be super
support
dope.
Us because when you support our Patreon, you support our studio time, you support our t-shirt fund, you support our wrestling show fund.
You support us coming out and visiting viewing parties with you guys other places other than the tri-state area.
Yes.
So please support us.
And you get more content from us, more commentary from us. We don't do recaps on our YouTube channel, but you could follow our Patreon and we'll talk about all of that stuff. And where else can they find us, Krista?
They can find us on Instagram, Those Wrestling Girls. They can find us on Twitter, T Wrestling Girls, Facebook, Those Wrestling Girls, our discussion group, Those Wrestling Girls. If you ever want to contact us, you can email us, thosewrestlinggirls@gmail.com. Yes. Is there anything else? If you want to follow our personal Twitter pages, she's Queen3_PR. I'm Krista D. Bryan on Twitter. Also, I want to say thank you to all the viewers and fans who
nominated us.
I forgot about that. Nominated us, and also who went ahead and like donated or whatever to the Kickstart breast cancer.
Oh yeah,
because that got a lot of views on my site.
Also,
you know, if for more wrestling news that we don't cover on Patreon or here, you can follow Unapologetically Eclectic. You know, all of that. Like, there's never enough wrestling we can't talk about.
Exactly.
Never enough. So we were so happy to do this episode. Pete, this was a good episode. I really like this topic.
Really, really fun. Yeah. We want to do, so we record every week, and anytime you want, if you have a suggestion for a topic, let us know. Jinx.
That's how old her soda, guys.
Yeah. Because we are so knee deep in wrestling sometimes
we
that
forget.
It's hard to be like, holy shit, what the fuck do we talk about this week? So if you have an idea, please let us know. We would really, really appreciate it. Should we give them, since we have more time than we thought, should we tell them our next 3 or 4 episodes coming out?
We can tell them too.
Okay.
So we have a dope Real Talk episode that's coming out, Women of Color, because obviously you can see we are women of color, and it's something that's needed to be talked about and discussed. And what's the other one, P?
We did a tag team division episode, and we recorded it right after Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross won their tag team championship. So we were able to talk about what we thought the division was going to be like, what we thought the championships were going to be, what the Iconics did with them, Sasha and Bailey winning and losing them, and Nikki, and what we want to see, what tag teams are even in the division. We go into that, what would make good tag teams. So that was also a fun episode too.
That was a fun episode. So now you can watch it and see if we're wrong or if our predictions came together.
And then who knows, the belts can change at Hell in a Cell. Like, we don't know. By the time that we put the episode out, a lot can happen. Because it's premiere week. They coming in hot.
They coming in real hot.
Like Raw, I was like, oh.
And Nikki posted a video on Snapchat. Lord, I'm lying. On Twitter, talking about Friday.
Oh.
So, talking about SmackDown.
I'm excited.
We shall see. All right. We gotta go. We love you guys. We love you.
Thank you so much for listening, and we're out.
Really? Let me say my line.
As soon as I said it, I was like,
damn.
Sorry.
Rewind. Okay. And on that, oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I promise we do this every week.
Every week. And it's like, why now are we forgetting? Okay. So we are wrapping up this episode. We want to thank you again. Follow us everywhere. All of that we just said. So once again, it's your girl, Krista B.
And Queen PR.
And on that note, we are out.